Right, we're back. Yeah. So Kim's gone, and I figured out what happened to the gun. Probably is a good review of why I'm on my own out here, despite it being 17:30. Yeah, he's gone to recover, well, to return, to bring the body over to processing. So now I'm on my own. There actually isn't that much to do. I can actually sit on the bench. Right, Kim's not here.
You sit on the wind-worn wooden planks of the bench. Your feet ache.
I wish I could sit and read something.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip, then made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Read a case file.
It takes about half an hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised. Which one do you want?
I don't really have much to do. After all, I figured the... Yep, sometime after 2100. I'll save it for when Kim's back, so it's gonna have to wait until day 3.
This one is relatively easy to reconstruct. Overnight on 1202, a graffito, nay, a mural, appears on an 8-story tenement overlooking central Jamrock. The building is a sparsely inhabited ghost tower, part of a failed real estate development called Grand Couronne. Cause of failure, rent too high.
Sounds like a rent crisis. Rent too high, though. Yeah, Desperate times call for desperate measures, huh? Rents are very high nowadays, and yet... no failures due to that. Probably because there isn't simply enough housing.
The mural is enormous. 2 silhouettes, a man and a woman, are kissing. The text cut into their form reads, "True love is possible, only in the next world. For new people, it is too late for us. Wreak havoc on the middle class. People call it that thing and that fucking thing. It's visible for miles. In 2 days, the station's complaints desk gets clogged with requests to remove the bummer. You and your partner are assigned to the case. The graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the bell lectures have the literage of industrial paint to cover the surface. One of the graffito artists is rumored to be rich. They take responsibility for the execution, but not the design. The ideologue of the next world mural, as the crew calls it, remains an unknown.
I mean, it's obvious. No, otherwise it would be in the case papers.
The crew agrees to clean up after themselves. However, your partner, JV, is against the removal, citing public support for conservation. This leads to a debate in Precinct 41, which then spreads to the streets of Jamrock, ending in a rare plebiscite organized by you and the rest of Row 3. The 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villa Lobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rambling on the streets as to how juvenile and stupid the mural is, given a choice between 2 options.
Keep the mural, it was right.
A staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority, and that love truly is possible in the next world for new people. is too late for us.
All that remains is to wreak havoc on the middle class.
In any case, it appears to have been a rare case of civil activity in the quarter, and agreement as well. What do you want to tackle next?
The insolvable case.
AKA Leslie and Burke, AKA the public indecency drunk and the property damage drunk, is a cursed case. It has been passed from unsuspecting officer to unsuspecting officer for 10 years. On January 29, the unsolvable case made its way to you. Why you accepted it, it is unclear. Every officer, and indeed most civilians in general, know it's unsolvable. Leslie will always take his pants off when he's drunk. Burke will always trash everything. It's just what they do. It is their nature. You cannot change the nature of a man, and you can't lock them away because public indecency and small-scale property damage are not punishable by incarceration. The only way for Leslie to stop flashing his genitals to bypassers and for Burke to stop dismantling signage and rear-view mirrors would be for them to stop drinking alcohol, which in their 40s or 50s, it's hard to tell because of their distorted features, is a medical improbability on par with you ceasing to produce the expression.
But there is a chance.
Threatening fines, dragging them to the station, locking them up in the hellholes they live in, locking them up in the station, hypnotherapy, even trying to get the local gang of Zemyaki to take them out. The Zemyaki gave them ethanol, so Burke and Leslie would expose and rampage even harder. You tried it all, and still the complaints wouldn't stop, as they hadn't stopped for 10 years. It's plain to see from the files that you, Satellite Officer JV, and Special Consultant TH had more important cases to attend to. You uncover cross-reference to several ongoing investigations, each brought to a standstill every time you drive down Main Street. Because there they are, on the corner of perdition. And what is Leslie doing? Good, you're learning. If the files are to be trusted, that's all there is to it. That and Burke breaking things, and the fact that they're both drunk. But then again, so are you. The case becomes considerably less comic one day when Burke takes a swing at your ledger. He must have it confused with the property he likes to damage. But the joke's on him. You're drunk out of your mind on potent Pilsner. You slam the hardened plastic board in his face. Then you proceed to beat him unconscious with it. In the process, the ledger sustains damage. The compartment within, reserved for permeable documents, is jammed shut. You stop your assault on the now unconscious Burke to open it, but are unable to do so. The officer began to cry, reports Leslie, who, at this point, is tending to Burke. He came at us, and at us. I think he was trying to kill Burko. While trying to kill Burko, you slowly come around. The permeables compartment is open. You've smashed it open on poor Burko's kneecaps. The good news is, Burke can't walk anymore, can't get out of his apartment, an invalid. With Burke to tend to, Leslie cuts back on the indecent exposure. Maybe he flashes his genitals to Burke, who knows, but both drunks are off the street. The complaints stop. The unsolvable case is solved. Which is also why the officer responsible narrowly escapes a disciplinary hearing. The end. Do you want to read another one?
That's not a solution that I like. Oh well.
Not
I can
much has
revisit this.
changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard.
Might as well take a moment and be responsible.
Can I help you? Got the 20 real? Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow.
There we go. I've been a responsible adult. Now I can get back to saying how irresponsible I was at a younger age, of a few months ago.
It's the ledger you found in the track. Arson, petty theft, spousal abuse. You don't exactly close them. So much as it takes
There,
about
that's
half an
correct.
hour to piece one together, using the system you've devised.
The
Which
square
one do
bullet
you
hole
want?
murders.
It would be very interesting to read about these, wouldn't it? I mean, there seems to be a square-shaped entry wound in the victim's forehead. She's been sitting there for weeks, on her rocking chair, with a square hole in her skull, staring at the wall, her mouth agape. That's all you got. From the half hour you spent piecing it together, all you know is the entry wound was square-shaped. You never found the bullet. And then another body showed up, also with a square hole in his forehead. Who knows? Those pages are missing. What next? Don't worry. One day you may still catch the man with the square gun.
Huh. That was quick, I guess. Yeah, the pages are missing. Well, the couch in an unexpected location.
Some assholes brought their couch outside and hung out on it. In the middle of the street, on the roof, on the hillside by the motorway. You know, at an unexpected location. They were young, and they thought they looked cool on it.
I mean, that's a lot of effort to put a couch at a random location. And while the middle of the street is a terrible idea, and on a roof, well, it depends on what kind of roof. If it's one of those areas with a flat roof, not that terrible. If it's one of those tiled slanted roofs, really? On the hillside by a motorway. Lots of effort, but honestly, are they hurting anyone doing that? No. Middle of the street? Huh. Unless there's a good reason to do that, no. On a roof, like I said, depends. More worried for their own safety than anything else. Slanted roof, although, yeah, I mean, it could fall on someone.
Yes, as you've said here, insufferable rock and roll assholes. Young people are the worst. So anyway, you got a complaint about the damn sofa, or couch, or whatever it was. They were leaving it out in all these unexpected and whimsical locations. They took it, too, where they also took photos of themselves on it, and smoked cigarettes, and drank coffee because they felt it's intellectual. Cigarette butts, coffee cups, stupid couch. You had to clean it all up, and you did. So congratulations to you. Case solved.
Did I ever catch those guys?
No, you didn't have time for that. These notes show that you have what is called a real goddamn job. You don't have time to be chasing down the couch assholes. You have a real job to do. What next?
I get the feeling I should be upgrading shivers at some point. Murder at the hookup parlor.
Murder. Tum tum tum. At the hookah parlor was a case originally assigned to an officer called Joseph Mills, who is now dead, of circumstances completely unconnected to murder at the hookah parlor.
Wait, how?
Beaten to death by a throng of Villa-Lobos gang members when him and his partner J.M., only initials mentioned, answered a call one night. It's a sad story, and it isn't really represented in your case files. Stop stalling and get to the murder at the hookah parlor.
Right, I want to know.
Joseph Mills was on this case that he just couldn't solve. Was doing it solo. Said it was a real nutcracker, a real brain twister. Was on it for, like, a month. The captain got impatient. Shit or get off the pot, Mills. Mills didn't get off the pot. Not yet. He kept at it for a couple of weeks more, racking his brains, running with every theory, as outlandish as they seemed. Still couldn't solve the murder at the hookah parlor. Tough case, he said. Toughest he's ever had.
Go on.
Okay, so the case is handed to you because Mills isn't getting anywhere, and you look into it. Here's the setup. A young man is found dead in a hookah parlor. You know, those places where you go and smoke bubblegum-flavored vapor all day.
Can you get high off it?
No, it's soot and water vapor. It doesn't do anything.
Really stupid.
Yeah. So anyway, young man in his 20s found with his skull busted open, right on the floor of the hookah parlor, in the middle of the day. No one else is in there. Only client that day. In perfect health, too. Some kind of movie producer. No one enters. No one exits. He's just sucking on his watermelon hookah all morning, all noon, like he usually does. He's a regular. No calls, nothing. Just sucking on the hookah until 15:45. Then bam, he's dead on the floor with his skull busted open, blood everywhere. What happened? How can it be? Mills has no idea. Invisible assassin, movie deal gone sour. Girl at the counter did it. Nothing fits. Eerie. Man just dropped dead. So you go to the parlor. You see cushions around the table. Tables low, heavy, really sharp edge.
It can't be that, can it? Skull busted open. I don't think a regular fall, no matter what you put at the end of it, can do that unless you trip while running.
See? You can't even read the thing without solving it. Yeah, it was that. Turns out hookah does do something. It turns off your brain's oxygen supply, and you don't notice it until you get up to go to the bathroom.
Okay, I mean, human anatomy is not my strong point. I probably know more about it than most people. Must have sucked a lot of it.
Yeah, he liked his hookah. Stephen was his name.
What was he doing there for 6 hours?
Smoking hookah. Didn't you hear? I don't know. Trying to come up with a movie script, maybe. Anyway, that was Murder at the Hookah Parlor. Joseph Mills wasn't a good detective, and about 30 minutes has passed piecing it together. Next. Not much has changed in the meanwhile.
Oh, that's it. Those.
Motorway south. The lone vector stretches in your mind's eye into the wild pale yonder, for an unimaginable distance, forgetting, until you can no longer remember anything. No cities, no mountains, no oceans, and finally, no vector. Nothing remains. A blank space with no point of reference, where only one type of motion is possible. The motion of a human throat, swallowing, and then it comes to you. To reach the end of the motorway south is to be unborn. You've had this thought before, while aimlessly wandering the streets of Jamrock. A lost piece of the man you were. A dark hope.
All intellect white checks unlocked. +1 Inland Empire, the swallowing motion. Still rigorous self-critique. So all the white checks have been re-unlocked, so I could try them again. Ah, second there, I thought it was actually working properly. Nope. Hmm. I mean, I could try the wall again.
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
Do I have clothes that give me more conceptualization? Yes.
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
Oh, I should put skill points in. Possibly. Wait, those learning caps are higher than they should be. Okay, that's jamais vu. Intellect rated learning caps raised by 1. I guess the actual effect has been changed, but perhaps has not been rendered on the localization. Yep. Okay. Sure, why not? Shivers. Shivers sounds like fun. I don't think I can actually go. I can save that for tomorrow. Is there anything else I want to do? Well, I could actually read the...
The face of King Friesen
Communist
smiles
magazine.
at you. For some reason, the smile now strikes you as more forced than it did before.
International developments.
This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations and the Free State of Semenine. You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Messina border, something about bear wrestling in Samara, book riots in Yugograd. Face it, you really aren't interested in foreign affairs. You're not even sure where most of these countries are. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
What is constant couture?
It takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you that Kunst und Kultur must mean arts and culture. Why they decided to title this one section in Valda is beyond you. It evokes a sense of recognition and fellowship among those privileged enough to understand. As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio plays, as well as a brief artist spotlight featuring a local artist identified only as CS. The main feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top Tournée, a critical Mazovian perspective.
Read the profile.
This so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief Q&A, made all the briefer by the subject's evident hostility to her interviewer. The actual article is surprisingly light on details, but after skimming a page or two, you gather that it has something to do with motor carriage racing. If you don't follow it, you only ever hear about the ludicrous sponsorships and obscene death toll.
Yeah, old motor racing was very ridiculous. Nowadays, it's a bit better because safety features, most of which were added by law. Alright, let's see what the communists have to say about Tip Top.
You think you're settling in for a relaxing recap of the most recent season, maybe sprinkled with some nice anecdotes about a few of the more colourful drivers.
It's not that, is it?
Instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word feature about all the politically problematic aspects of Tip Top Tourney.
The writers know what... the leftist propensity for word count.
Where to even start? For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships. And then there's the practically criminal emphasis on deadly motor crashes. So, all of it, basically.
Hang on, who wrote this stuff?
Oddly enough, this article has 2 bylines. Nasteb Encolada Bernal and Exilus Buka. There's no way those are real names. Have you ever met anyone named Exilus? Come on, they're plainly pseudonyms.
What's so bad about sponsorships?
Under capitalism, the article says, every pursuit has its price. Every pleasure, even one as elemental as the joy of racing others around a track, is reduced to an advertising opportunity.
Oh yes, now it's the perfect time to have a word from our sponsors. Okay, the chances that I get a sponsorship, or accept one, minimal.
Thus, the so-called tourney becomes a competition between increasingly meaningless brand signifiers. Your discount laundry detergent racing against a pack of Astra cigarettes, or even a Frita. And that precisely is what's problematic about it. Were it not for the promise of random, spectacular violence, audiences would quickly lose interest.
Yeah. I mean... Well, then again, I'm not actually a racing fan. I do like racing games. But it's usually not for the crashes.
At the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000 real races that you're really watching for.
No, I'm pretty sure I like it for the racing.
Sure, you think that, but subconsciously, it's the visions of brand names being engulfed in flames that you crave. That's because you haven't been reading critically. But don't worry. The whole point of these sorts of articles is to let someone else read critically for you.
Average Marxist-Leninist theorist.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Let's see what they mean by local concerns. It's probably not local.
Unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up with articles declaring unqualified support for the dock workers' strike.
Oh, nice. I guess.
You skim the headlines. Paint the harbour red and white. Martinez tames the wild pines. A city in revolt. First we take Martinez, then we take La Delta. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Capeside Apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent.
Charging rent just to live somewhere is pretty outrageous.
The writer G. Martin remarks dryly that capitalists love wealth redistribution, so long as it's only redistributed upward.
Ah.
It's true, the rentiers have been bleeding you dry. You really ought to find your own place one of these days. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you. It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Not much.
Yeah, you're right. It is just a racist mug.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue.
Touch the door.
The cobalt blue surface feels rough to touch. The stainless steel door is flush with its frame on every side. It leads to a side building, adjacent to this one. The old building next to this, half ruined. Whatever is behind it must be older.
Try to push on
The
the door.
door does not budge.
What? How dare it not budge? Guess there's nothing doing. Okay, I can click and track. On the dang thing. Okay, good. That makes it so much easier. Hmm.
The fan stands still.
Pull on the light bulb.
The lights are on. The lights are off again.
Huh. Guess it doesn't do anything during those times. Well, after the first day.
The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in.
Yep.
The bed is still cold from the broken window, and not too inviting. But it's yours. You've earned it. The bed is still cold from the wind blowing in from the broken window. The mattress creaks as you close your eyes and try your hardest to fall asleep.
Here we are again, my broken bud. The waves are coming, carrying you away. But you can't go. No, you have to stay. Always half aware of yourself. You're not cooperating, brother man. It's your disgusting body. Even through your sleep, you feel a vague discomfort suffusing it. Your belly and your sides are unpleasantly tender. You wish you could curl up into a fetal ball of safety, but you cannot because of the pain.
That pain in your right side is your enlarged liver, by the way. As for your kidneys, you've really been compounding the damage lately.
It's not showing me the roll. Sad.
Every cell in your body is moaning in agony, asking, what did we ever do to you?
body is a system, and it's failing you because you're failing it.
Oh, yes. They'll check you out, give you some pills, make it all okay. The Wonder Makers.
Don't be stupid, Harry. It's not happening. They don't make new kidneys and livers in hospital. All you've got to do is pray to God it passes and stare at the flickering darkness.
You're just stuck here, in the half-world. Could try looking at other people, really looking. But why would you want to start doing that?
Oh, baby boy, you're already in the other place. There's no nourishment for you tonight. Maybe tomorrow.
Maybe if you know, like, took a lot of drugs before you go to sleep, that'd do the trick.
Maybe.
Maybe if you cracked the damn thing, then you'd feel satisfied and tired, holding the picture puzzle in your hands, complete. Maybe if you weren't so hard on yourself.
What do you think you're doing right now? Coming to some greater awareness? Look at all these lights, blinking in and out of existence. Thoughts! You're just pretending that you're asleep, even to yourself, while the world goes on without you.
Let it. Let it.
But it never seems to let you go, does it? Time to rise and wipe that shining sweat off as best you can. Gather your bearings. Rock and roll.
Alright, everything back to full. Nice. You know what I thought? I guess it doesn't pass as the time for that doesn't pass while you're asleep. Oh well.
Yes?
I want to talk about you.
Me?
Yes, you.
I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation.
We'll work together, better together. We have more report.
That's a fair point. Alright, for the good of the investigation, what do you want to know?
You're wearing glasses.
That's correct.
That makes him a binoclard. Completely uncopped material, if you say so yourself.
I'm not calling him a bino.
Are they? They are mostly just cumbersome.
Tell me a secret about yourself.
No.
Ask again.
Your brain sends the signal to your lips, but they refuse the order. Something is paralyzing them. You're pretty sure it has something to do with the lieutenant's eyebrow. The eyebrow is exercising psionic control over you. It's like you're locked down.
What's happening to me?
Something the matter, detective?
What's going on? It's like you're a puppet in his hands.
Give up. There's nothing you can do.
The lieutenant relaxes his eyebrow, and you seem to regain control of yourself.
That's all for now. Right. Do you ever talk with yourself?
What do you mean?
You know, when you're thinking, do you ever have conversations with, like, your brain?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The lieutenant's conceptualization skills must be rather rudimentary.
Ah, that must be correct conceptualization.
The lieutenant is a police officer of the old school. His concerns are material and extrinsic. But this isn't an old school case.
So you're saying your brain never just chimes in with advice or warnings or anything?
I can't say that it does, no. When I need to think, I just use my notebook.
The lieutenant produces his small blue notebook and idly thumbs through a few pages. That's where his conversations with himself take place. We all have our different mediums. His is written.
Good. Let's change the subject.
Well. Wait, there's coins here. Woo, 50 cents.
You look like shit. And I don't mean that as a metaphor.
Looks don't matter, it's what's on the inside that does.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm going by here.
Oh, come on, Jean. It looks like it's been a rough week on him.
It's not just this week. What you want?
There's something about this guy that matches with a face in your head. A similar but different face. You know what it is. It's like the two of you know each other. Just ask him.
Tell me the truth. Do you know me from somewhere?
Oh, I definitely know you from somewhere.
Another life.
From where? Another life?
Yes, from another life. A different life. Maybe the life of a police officer belonging to the ranks of the... To what station do you think you would belong in this alternate and totally fictional reality?
41st.
Okay, that's plausible. That's entirely plausible. Now we're really getting somewhere. Somewhere good.
Let's talk more about that hypothetical Station 41 you mentioned.
Okay.
Do you have a crime to solve?
Oh, no. You see, I enjoy watching other better cops solve crimes. And let me tell you, it's been quite a privilege seeing you work.
This isn't helping.
So who else is in our imaginary police station?
You're not going to believe this, but police officers, yes sir, solving crimes, locking up bad guys, and get this, and not getting that drink on at 2 o'clock. Just some regular boring motherfuckers in suits and uniforms. Nothing spectacularly extravagant like you, the far-out son of Lung.
Who's the far son of Lung?
Oh, it's you, you eccentric genius. I mean, with your unorthodox approach to police work, it has to be you. Not even a little bit.
It's an urban myth about an officer who is so far undercover he can't remember who he is. As I said, just an urban myth. You are not the son of Lang.
He's trying to protect you from further rough handling, dished out by the sunglassed man. Okay, yes, you get the joke.
Leave
Leave it at that.
Let's be crazy. Let's say you and I are partners. How's that for a thought experiment?
Kim's cooler than you.
I'm sure he's fucking flattered. But Kim is not part of this thought experiment. In this one, we're partners.
The lieutenant is silent.
You seem like a cool guy, though.
Would you now, or would I be cramping your style? Never mind, partner.
Probably not.
Okay, how about you stop wasting my time and get on with whatever you were doing then?
Can't imagine it anymore.
Neither can I, partner. Neither can I.
It's a mere second, but it feels like you saw something. A gram of compassion in that sadness.
Kim? Who is this guy?
I'm not getting involved in this.
It's not my style, he thinks, glancing at the man in sunglasses and the woman beside him. Oh boy, they're mad at him. No wonder. He just doesn't recognize them.
Watch out for yourself, loser.
That voice, so very familiar. Did you hear it when calling to your station and reporting your badge missing?
Wait.
Oh, really? I wonder where. That's the where you remember me from?
I have a bit of memory trouble.
You don't say. Goodbye then. The voice thing was a coincidence. Run along, asshole.
Okay, the man with the sunglasses and his hypothetical Station 41. Weird, right?
I know, super weird.
There's something missing here. Something you can't put our finger on. You know what? Just ask him. I know it sounds crazy, and you'll probably get laughed at, but still. Yes, just cross it off the list. It's probably not true, though. The woman in an RCM patrol officer's uniform winces as she notices you.
I would really prefer not to talk to you right now.
A patrol officer is the lowest rank in the RCM, below lieutenant and sergeant.
Is everything alright?
I don't know. I mean, why would I want to talk to you?
Have I wronged you? I've done that to a lot of people.
No, you haven't wronged me. It's okay. Okay, fine. Let's talk. What did you want?
What does one talk about with a fellow officer?
So what precinct are you from?
What precinct?
Am I from? God, he doesn't know.
Fucking deranged lunatic.
You're getting an intellectually unsatisfying vibe from this conversation. Maybe you're doing something wrong.
Like, something is really bugging me. Or are we not from the same police station?
God damn it, you leave her alone. Keep your weird bullshit to yourself and be professional for once, for fuck's sake.
Can I actually help you with something?
Yes, of course. Preposterous. I mean, you would remember if they were, right? Who forgets their squad mates? That's not possible.
Okay. Time to investigate the special borscht.
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence.
Leo says you're friends with Mana now. Is that true?
The mention of mañana gets his attention. He smiles and delivers a whole slew of unfamiliar words and lively gestures. Then he falls silent again. They're friends?
Okay. What is in that borscht you're making there?
The man says a couple of sentences in that strange language of his and then seems to wait for you to speak. I'm pretty sure he asked you a question. He doesn't know your language. You can just say something cool in return.
Mercury Rising.
Horse need more vodka?
Okay, so it's vodka that keeps the men happy and in good spirits. Clever move by the Union.
Vodka borscht! I love it, Bratan! Turn it the fuck up and then ask for some yourself!
Turning it up seems like a dangerous idea, honestly. The place is a powder keg.
I'll leave the cooking to you.
The cook gives you a long, inspecting look, then shrugs too, and seems to wait for you to speak.
You've got some impressive pots
He
there.
smiles and bangs his ladle against each of his pots in turn. It's almost like music, especially with the sounds of assorted dishes boiling and simmering on the stove.
Oh. Huh?
All around you, rain falls on the great city of Revachol. Rain drips from the eaves and floods the gutters, washing the filth away. The spring thaw must be here. The snow is melting. Looking up at the sky, cold water dripping from your hat.
What do I see?
Grey sky like great battleships, clouds colliding with one another. Rain falls down on the world.
How does it feel?
Humid. Your coat shields you from the rain while the city shivers around you.
What is in the west?
Sheets of rain over the water. A flight of stairs leading into the ocean. Wave after wave washing the coast of Martinaise, with its motorboats and gently swaying reeds. The ruins of a half-sunken sea fort crumble on an inlet beyond the Bay of Revachol. Ghosts rise into the sky.
Who are you ghosts?
The skyscrapers of La Delta, the financial district. Faint golden light seeps from the office windows. Will you ever go there?
Will I?
No, you are just one of the hundreds of thousands who watch them rise across the bay from Martinaise every day.
What is down the shore?
Urban coastline, rain dripping off Eternite-covered roofs. Cinder blocks left over from half-finished construction. A defunct research and development building, once seized by revolutionaries. An old wooden church stands on stilts above the water.
And beyond that?
Coal City, end of all lines. Your hair is an oily mess flecked with ash from neighboring coal plants. Smokestacks rise somewhere in the distance.
The east?
The great gates of the industrial harbor are locked. A chill runs down your back. You shudder like an animal trying to shake water from its hide. Behind the gates, heaps of supply crates, red and blue metal shipping containers, slick with rain. The Greater Revachol Industrial Harbor is an artificial mountain range. Immense wealth resides within, and immeasurable poverty in its shadow.
Centralization of economics. And beyond that?
La Drusienne, King Dries passenger harbor. Cruise ships flanked by dock arms. Cranes watching over the mouth of the river distributary. Couronne, the lower middle class. Distributary after distributary cuts the city blocks in half. 7-story buildings trail off into the rain.
What is beyond the current?
A silvery curtain of rain over the houses. The class divide. You have never been there. They don't need the law east of the river.
What's in the north?
Capeside apartments. Tower blocks crowd one another. 4.46mm bullets still lodged in their war-torn stone walls. Hallways collapse from the mortar hits of a war that was lost long ago. Clotheslines go to waste in the rain. Radios play. The morning news.
Closer to here?
A yard. Rain falls onto the roof of a woodshed. The lingering odor of decomposition mixes with that of damp soil.
What's in the south?
A traffic jam. Rain thrumming on the roofs of motor vehicles. Inside, drivers watch water streaming down their windshields. The statue of a king shudders. He too is cold. The canal bridge has been raised.
It's on the other side.
The road ascends. A raised motorway loops above the ghetto. Beneath its concrete columns, a sea of rooftops, woodwork, and tar stretches northward. 4-story buildings as far as the rain can fall. The snows melt in Jamrock.
Where the hood? Where the hood? Where the hood at?
Have a brother in the cut. Where the hood at?
Who? Why am I not there?
To be in Martinez, where no one goes, at the runoff point of a long-forgotten canal, in the whitest part of town. In the shadow of the day, the revolution fell.
What am I doing here?
Standing in the rain, looking north, where Jamrock Rock City stretches inland.
Look further.
In the rain-swept distance, above the rooftops of Jamrock, a repurposed silk mill stands perched above the motorway exit. Precinct 41 hunches in the rain. Your vision blurs. You wipe your face with your hand. The rain stings your eyes, making you look up and blink.
What's above?
Coalition-era statics hang like apparitions under the cloud cover. Way up there, where rain forms, rotors flutter silently. Your sight clears.
Finish that.
This rain will not let up anytime soon. At least we are dressed for it. Let's keep moving.
Putting a point into Shivers was one of the best decisions I've made. Let's check up on that serial number.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Have you heard back from the ICP about the serial number?
Yes. The armor was produced by Fairweather in their facilities in Bétancourt, sur la Clé in 42. It was part of a special order for Corps de Pharmacie, a security firm contracted to protect the interests of Oranese pharmaceutical companies in the Seminine conflict. So, it seems the armor went to Seminine. That's where the paper trail ends, though. Even the firm has proven difficult to track. Corps de Pharmacie has been renamed several times over in the years since the armor was issued.
I'm guessing one of its names is Cornell.
Yes. That is the most recent name the ICP has been able to connect to the CBP. And the one before it was Damwell. I also have one called Sediment, but I think that might be a different contractor. No, they work called Sediment. And somatosensor, it seems. All that during the last 9 years.
A suit of armor like this would have been manufactured with a particular person's physique in mind. You should ask for whom this suit was fitted.
Yes. Thank you, Visual Calculus.
Yes, but the ICP tends to be reluctant to share private sector records. I could try to talk them into it, though.
This is a fun challenge for her. An opportunity to contribute beyond doing her job by rote. She'll gladly put in the extra effort for Team RCM.
Yes, thank you, officer.
Glad to help. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have more for you then.
Okay.
Just a moment, officer.
10-4, come in, officer. Over.
This might sound odd, but there's personal details I'd like to discuss.
10-4, sir. Sorry, but I'm under orders to give a negative to request for personal information. Over.
You mean you can't tell me anything about me? But I'm me.
10-4. Orders are still orders. Anything else? Over. Roger that. 10-10, over and out.
Oh. Okay. That is helpful information, so somewhat. Obviously, the company has been doing its best to try to work around such things, and the lock's still closed. Oh, who are these guys? I cannot talk with them. Remove the banner, though.
A rusting control panel with loose wires dangling out from the hole where an indicator light used to be, and a mechanical lever sitting in the middle.
Pull the lever.
You grab the handle and pull the lever up. As soon as the metal connects against the contact pins, you hear a loud clunk. Then, the water lock starts moving.
Okay, if we ever need to get to the coast, then this is the way. But please, contain your wanderlust for now. I don't want us to get sidetracked, but with everything that's going on.
Focus on one thing, achieve it, then the next, he thinks. That's the task chain.
But it's way more fun to work on different things at different times. Oh, that's open. I think I can take a moment and end the episode here. We'll explore this new space in the next one. Right. I'll see you next time. Until then, bye. I genuinely have no idea what episode number this is. I have recorded so much over the past few days. Including the drawing time-lapse, which I did yesterday morning. Oh well. It's a great way to use a 3-day weekend. Playing and recording the new game. Anyway, till next time. See you then.